If you have ever had a guest walk through your door only for your dog to immediately bury their nose somewhere deeply inappropriate, you already know exactly what this video is about. And if you have ever stood there, laughing nervously while desperately trying to pull your dog away from a visitor, know this: your dog was not being rude. They were not misbehaving. They were doing something so scientifically sophisticated, so neurologically advanced, that it makes every human greeting ritual look primitive by comparison. Because what your dog is actually doing in that moment is not what you think it is. Not even close. And by the time you finish this video, you will never be embarrassed by it again. You will be genuinely impressed. Stay until number 5. Because what we cover at the end is the part that most people find completely extraordinary. And it involves something your dog knows about you that you do not even know about yourself. Let's get into it. 1. Your dog is reading your entire biological biography in seconds. Here is the foundation of everything. A dog's nose contains up to 300 million olfactory receptors compared to the 6 million in the human nose. The part of a dog's brain dedicated entirely to processing and analyzing scent is proportionally 40 times larger than the equivalent region in the human brain. But even those numbers do not fully capture what is actually happening. Dogs also possess something humans do not have at all: the vomeronasal organ, also called Jacobson's organ. It sits in the roof of the mouth and connects directly to the parts of the brain that process social and sexual information. It is a completely separate scent processing system that runs alongside the nose and specializes specifically in detecting chemical signals called pheromones, hormonal information, biological data, the kind of information that does not have a smell in the way we understand smell, but that carries enormous amounts of data about the individual producing it. The apocrine glands, the sweat glands that produce pheromones in humans, are concentrated most heavily in specific areas of the body: the armpits and the groin area. These are the regions of the human body that broadcast the strongest and most information-rich chemical signals available to a dog's nose. Your dog is not targeting an inappropriate area randomly. They are going directly to the most data-rich location on your entire body, the biological equivalent of going straight to the source. In seconds, your dog can determine your age, your sex, your emotional state, your health status, whether you are stressed or calm, whether your hormone levels have changed recently, and whether you are someone they have encountered before. All from a single sniff of the area that makes most humans want to disappear into the floor. Your dog is not being inappropriate. They are being extraordinarily efficient. 2. They can tell if you are pregnant before you know yourself. This is where it stops being funny and starts being genuinely extraordinary. The hormonal changes that occur in the very early stages of human pregnancy produce specific chemical signatures that are detectable through the apocrine glands. Changes in estrogen and progesterone levels, shifts in body chemistry that are completely imperceptible to human senses, but entirely readable to a dog with 300 million olfactory receptors and a vomeronasal organ specifically designed to detect hormonal information. There are countless documented cases of dogs showing behavioral changes toward their female owners in the days and weeks before a positive pregnancy test, becoming more attentive, more protective, seeking more physical contact, positioning themselves close to the abdomen specifically. These behavioral changes consistently predate any medical confirmation of pregnancy. Researchers studying canine olfactory capabilities have confirmed that dogs can detect hormonal fluctuations that occur this early in pregnancy. Not through some mystical sixth sense, through chemistry, through a nose that reads hormonal information the way we read text. Your dog sniffs you in that specific area, and within seconds knows more about your current hormonal status than your doctor does without a blood test. That is not embarrassing. That is one of the most sophisticated biological detection systems on the planet, doing exactly what it was built to do. And this is only point 2. What comes next is the part that most people find genuinely hard to process. Because it turns out, your dog is not just reading your biology. They are reading your emotional state with a precision that should make every lie detector manufacturer nervous. 3. They know exactly how you are feeling before you walk through the door. Emotional states in humans are not just psychological, they are chemical. When you feel fear, your adrenal glands release cortisol and adrenaline. These compounds have specific molecular signatures that change the chemistry of your sweat and your body odor in ways that are completely imperceptible to other humans, but instantly readable to a dog. When you are happy, your body produces different chemical compounds than when you are anxious. When you are attracted to someone, your hormone levels shift in ways that produce a specific chemical signature. When you are grieving, your body chemistry changes. When you are sick, your body chemistry changes. When you are about to start your menstrual cycle, your hormone levels shift in ways that produce detectable chemical changes days before any physical symptoms appear. Your dog knows all of this from that sniff in the first seconds of contact. A 2017 study published in the journal Scientific Reports confirmed that dogs can reliably detect human stress through scent alone. Researchers collected sweat and breath samples from humans before and after a stressful mental task and presented them to trained dogs. The dogs correctly identified the stressed samples at a rate far above chance. They were not reading body language. They were not responding to behavioral cues. They were reading the chemistry of stress in samples that contained no visual information whatsoever. Your dog sniffs you when you come home, and within seconds has a complete picture of what kind of day you had. Whether something went wrong, whether you are okay, whether you need them close tonight, all before you have said a single word or shown a single expression. And if this is already changing how you see your dog, go ahead and hit like and subscribe. Every video on this channel is built around what the science actually says about your dog, not what we assume. What comes next is the part that most owners find genuinely shocking. 4. They are doing the same thing to strangers to protect you. Remember the guest who walked through your door and immediately became the subject of your dog's thorough and deeply uncomfortable investigation. That was not random social awkwardness. That was your dog performing a rapid threat assessment on an unknown individual on your behalf. When a stranger enters your home, your dog has no reliable way to assess their intentions through visual cues alone. Humans are extraordinarily good at controlling their facial expressions and body language. We smile when we are nervous. We appear calm when we are not. We perform emotional states that do not match our internal reality. But the body cannot lie chemically. A person who feels genuine discomfort in a social situation produces different stress hormones than someone who is genuinely relaxed. A person who has harmful intentions may show elevated cortisol or adrenaline that their face is carefully not showing. A person who is genuinely kind and at ease broadcasts that information through their chemistry, whether they know it or not. Your dog goes to the most chemically rich area of a stranger's body and reads that information directly. In seconds, they know more about that stranger's genuine emotional state than you will learn from an entire conversation. This is why dogs so consistently and so accurately react differently to people who appear trustworthy but are not, and people who appear intimidating but are completely harmless. They are not reading the performance. They are reading the chemistry underneath it. Your dog's embarrassing behavior at parties is actually a sophisticated security system that has been protecting you and the people you let into your home since the day they arrived. 5. What your dog knows about you that you do not know about yourself. This is the part I told you to stay for, and it is the one that most people find genuinely extraordinary when they understand it fully. Dogs have been documented detecting specific medical conditions through scent before any symptoms have appeared, and before any medical test has returned a positive result. Not occasionally, not anecdotally. In controlled scientific studies with documented accuracy rates that have stunned the medical research community. Trained medical detection dogs have identified early-stage lung cancer, breast cancer, colorectal cancer, and ovarian cancer from breath and urine samples with accuracy rates as high as 97% in some studies. They have predicted epileptic seizures up to 45 minutes before they occur. They have detected dangerous drops in blood sugar in diabetic patients before any medical monitoring device registered the change. The chemical signatures of these conditions exist in the body long before they produce any detectable physical symptoms. They are present in sweat, breath, and the hormonal compounds that concentrate in the areas your dog investigates so thoroughly. Your dog sniffs you every day, every single day. And what they are doing in those moments is running a continuous health assessment that no medical technology currently available to humans can replicate in real time. There are documented cases of pet dogs who became suddenly and persistently fixated on a specific area of their owner's body through repeated sniffing and nudging. Owners who followed up on this behavior with medical investigation discovered early-stage cancers in exactly the areas their dog had been focused on. Cancers that were caught early enough to be treated successfully because a dog would not stop sniffing. Your dog is not just greeting you when they investigate you so thoroughly, they are checking on you, reading your biology, running their daily assessment of the person they are most bonded to and most responsible for keeping safe. The next time your dog does this to you, let them finish. Because what they are doing in that moment is one of the most extraordinary things any living creature does for another. They are reading everything your body is trying to say, everything you cannot say in words, everything you might not even know yet. And they are doing it because you are theirs, and they are paying attention. Your dog has never once been rude. They have never once behaved inappropriately. They have been doing something that took millions of years of evolution to build, something that no human technology has successfully replicated, something that has saved lives, detected diseases, protected families, and deepened one of the most extraordinary bonds in the animal kingdom. They just happen to do it in the most socially inconvenient location possible. And honestly, given everything that nose can do, we should probably just let them. If this changed how you see your dog today, share it with every dog owner you know, especially the ones who have been embarrassed by this exact behavior. Subscribe for more of what the science actually says, and drop a comment below telling me the most embarrassing place or moment your dog has done this. We read every single one, and I promise you will not be alone.